Warren is the captain of a boat that's rapidly sinking. There's a small raft that could be used to rescue only a fraction of the people and the stuff on board. On the boat is Ajit Jain. He's the president of Berkshire Hathaway's insurance group and a potential successor. Charlie Munger, aforementioned lifelong business partner, for the most part, and all-around buddy. Tony Nicely, the Geico CEO. There's also a cooler full of cherry Coke. Not only does Warren Buffett own 400 million of the company's shares, he drinks at least 5 12-ounce servings of cherry Coke a day.
Oh my gosh, does he still have his original teeth?
We'll get to that.
Oof.
Also on board is a BNSF model train set and conductor's hat, and an original signed copy of Ben Graham's Security Analysis. What does Captain Warren do?
Well, I think, first of all, he saves Ajit Jain for sure, because I know that because I think Warren has probably said that in the past. Ajit is really one of the most valuable people at the company. But I also think he'd save the model train set. So there's a funny story about Warren Buffett in the 1960s. He'd always dreamed of having a train basically in his house, like a model train set. And Omaha is a famous sort of built up as sort of a train junction. And so what he did is he got a partner. I think the guy's name was Bill Angle, and he was a partner in the sense that he built it all for Warren in exchange for Warren claiming he's a partner. Then he tried to sell a 50% interest in the train set on the 3rd floor of his own house to, I think, one of his other business partners who declined that offer to pay for half of it. But Warren said, hey, come on, you can come over and use it whenever you want. And the guy said, I'm not paying for a train set in your house.
Businessman.
And this was after Warren had, I think he had made a couple $100,000 that year and owned 13% of his partnership. So he was doing pretty well, but he was also kind of doing a little Tom Sawyering of his friends.
That's pretty funny. By the way, I did find an original edition of Security Analysis on eBay for $16,500, just in case you're curious how much that's worth.
Wow.
And it's not signed by Benjamin Graham.
Okay.
So that's not a cheap book.
No. All right, Micah, what do you think Captain Buffett does?
So I'm going to second that he saves Ajit Jain for basically the same reasons. He's said, I think it was in the 2014 letter that Buffett said Ajit was a fully capable successor for him. He's also responsible for the most insurance float, which is a huge driving force for Berkshire Hathaway. So those are, Buffett loves making money. He needs that float, and he needs someone to manage it. So that's why I'm going with Ajit. I also think that he would take the cooler full of cherry Coke because, as you mentioned, as much as he takes in every day, I think that if he didn't, he might actually die. I think this is
go through withdrawal and start eating people.
Yeah, I think exactly. So I think this is. He hopefully he would take that for humanity's sake, because if he doesn't, he's a goner.
Yeah, and since you mentioned insurance float, this is a key part of Berkshire Hathaway. So when people pay their insurance premiums, the insurance company keeps the money until they need to pay something out. In the meantime, the company invests it, and that's sort of, to a certain degree, that was the whole business model behind
Absolutely.
Berkshire Hathaway. So being able to invest this float is key to his success, and they're looking for someone who can take over for Warren, who, as we said earlier, is already 85.
I'd also add just a little bit of trivia, since I'm pointing out how cheap Warren Buffett is. Before he bought shares of Coca-Cola and has become sort of their pseudo spokesperson, he was actually a Pepsi drinker. He would buy Pepsi in the grocery store because it was cheaper, and then he would add cherry flavoring because it was just more economical than actually paying for cherry Coke. You buy Pepsi and add cherry flavoring. It's kind
Per
of
sip cost.
It's a little bit of a skeleton in his closet, and maybe that's one of the reasons Alice Schroeder is not on good terms with him. And she's revealed these kind of things, and I really focus on repeating them.
Well, as we've mentioned in a previous episode, Warren Buffett's license plate used to be Thrifty. And he lives in the same house he bought in the 50s for $31,000. There have been some security upgrades since then, but I've walked by. It's just a normal, very nice neighborhood in Omaha, and you can just walk by. I was walking by, his wife walked out. I didn't have the guts to wave, but, it's just a normal guy worth billions of dollars.